Hello and welcome to Tea and Ties, the Great British Wrestling podcast for Great British Wrestling, as featured on Bodyslam.net and the Jonas Podcasting Network. I am your host, the Great British Attack, with Mr. Andrew Moore and Deep Most, joined as always by, he hasn't quite got the mohawk going, he's got it slick back, but it is big, dirty, Dan, Mr. Daniel Allen, just Dan for short. How we doing?
We are good, thank you. We are feeling positive. The snow has gone. I'm a very happy camper. My course that I was on this week got called off early because of the snow. Stupid soft stuff, as Thomas the Tank Engine would say. Silly stuff.
The sun is shining where I am on the East Coast. We did just get a blister and a snow, but then the sun came back. And so it's still absolutely freezing. I'm wearing like five layers of exaggeration, but I'm wearing enough layers to keep me warm in this temperature. I am not built for the cold. I've always said that I was blessed by the sun gods and cursed by the winter gods.
Oh, you're cursed by many people online.
Yeah, it does happen. It does. I did see somebody who's got an even better mohawk than yours, though. Yeah, sorry, gonna have to be ashamed. It is this Emily, I believe her name is. She is the ring announcer for Pro Wrestling Eve, or at least she ring announced the last two shows for Pro Wrestling Eve, and she has a fantastic spike mohawk going along with just more hair. It's a fantastic look. Anyway, puts yours to shame.
Well, I shall be bringing up the mohawk to Warwick on the 25th, where I will be ring announcing for Full Force Wrestling.
Yeah, good. Congratulations. As you say, it's something you wanted to do long before we even actually started this podcast. So knowing that this podcast has helped make that happen, it makes us so proud because, it shows that we're getting through to a few people, at least. But yeah, no, it's fantastic to see, and should be another great show for Full Force Wrestling. And after this, I would recommend, after you've watched us, we're going to try and keep it short enough that it finishes way within time. Go over to Soft Pro because they've got the free premiere of their latest show. I'm going to be over there. I'll be in the chats, maybe under Tea and Tights if I can remember the bloody login. Who knows? If not, it'll just be under my name. You may recognize it. But I think it's just going to be a great show. But this episode, as we know, it was International Women's Day just a couple of days ago on the Wednesday. My charger wasn't charging my laptop. It is now. It was International Women's Day this past Wednesday. So this episode, well, it's all about the women. And yes, we've had this episode planned for a long time, especially when it comes to the main thing that we'll be doing is a 30 all-women roster. Me and Dan will be drafting one against the other. You will vote out there. The people will vote on who drafted the best roster. More on that later. We do have reviews for Rev Pro UK and Progress Wrestling, as well as the two Pro Wrestling Eve shows that were on International Women's Day and last night, which I was able to watch live via YouTube for $8.99 on their thing. But again, more on that. First of all, we mentioned it last week. It wasn't a proper news story. We went on a tangent. But we mentioned the fact that Xia Brookside was accepting a lot of bookings ahead of June, where she just mentioned the fact that she won't be around afterwards. We now know why.
We do indeed. She is moving back to Daddy.
Yes, she is moving to the US of A. And it does not look, as of now, that it is any move to WWE or any move to AEW, as she is accepting bookings.
But her family is there. As we say, Robbie Brookside is one of the main trainers at NXT.
Yes.
And family have been there for years. And I can totally understand her wanting to move back there. And our loss is the USA's gain. You are going to get the opportunity to book a phenomenal talent in Brookside.
I'm sure guys like Progress, and maybe Rev Pro UK, and possibly Pro Wrestling Eve can fly her in for shows back here in the UK on the occasion. Because it is a big loss. She is a fantastic performer. You know, we always enjoyed her babyface work up until the restart of NXT UK, where we kind of fell out of love with her babyface work, but then fell back in love with her because she became an absolute brat, and it was brilliant.
Yeah, Bratty Brookside was absolutely great, and the work she did with Nina Samuels was brilliant.
Indeed. And she is a phenomenal worker inside the ring, in and out. I think, you know, promotions like Warrior Wrestling should definitely be on her radar. New Ring of Honor, maybe. Impact Wrestling Knockout. She would be a fantastic knockout. I'm sure she'll still do work with Stardom as well as part of Project Nova, Project Supernova. Project something with Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa. So good luck to Zaya Brookside. Whatever you may do in the future, we hope to see you back in the UK on occasion, because it's a talent that is could be very useful in this landscape of British wrestling and women's wrestling in particular. Yes, we have an abundance of incredible women, but we still need more women, and it's difficult to lose one of our best.
It's not a loss. They will be able to come back, but yeah, you're right. Good luck to you, Zaya.
Very much good luck. I'm not saying I wish her all the best, and I think she's gonna have a fantastic time. And yeah, knockouts, Warrior Wrestling, maybe new ROH, Prestige Wrestling are doing great things. She's gonna do great things. But let's talk about Pro Wrestling Eve, and huge news that came out, 2 shows that we watched and we'll be reviewing later. So a couple of spoilers here. Millie McKenzie will challenge Miyu Yamashita for the Pro Wrestling Eve Championship in a 30-minute Iron Woman match at Pro Wrestling Eve 13th anniversary show at the Dome in London on the 5th of March. They are tied 2 for 2. They actually had 3 matches last year. Miyu coming out on top on 2, and Millie only coming out on top once. But there's one from back in the day in Japan where Millie McKenzie. So they're 2 and 2. And so this 30-minute Iron Man match for the Pro Wrestling League Championship is going to be big. It's a good match.
Yep, and the booking makes sense. So, yes.
Absolutely does. As part of that 13th anniversary show, there is going to be a mini tournament of 4 people. And what we go looking at is the future of Pro Wrestling Eve versus the current stalwarts of Pro Wrestling Eve tournament. Now, they have announced the future of Pro Wrestling Eve bracket. And one of those competitors is the incredible Sapphire Reed, very young girl from the UK, making her name in I'd say it's the Southeast. She's done a lot in London as well, of course. I think, it's London, Southeast London she is from. She's made appearances for Rev Pro UK. I first saw her on UKPW, thought she was amazing. Purpose Wrestling and a few others. Just had a fantastic match with Danny Black, actually, at UKPW. And I think that is now free on YouTube on UKPW. So I would highly recommend going and watch that one, especially watching Danny Black hit his elevated regal suplex, which was just looked beautiful. But Sapphire Reed is going to be taking on one of the top young stars around the world right now. You know, she has been making her name in the independent scene since she was, 15. You could almost liken her to the female Nick Wayne. She has made appearances now for AEW. She has been competing for Tokyo Joshi Pro over in Japan. It is the incredible Billie Starkz. It's going to be
everywhere, hasn't she?
She literally has been everywhere. She is a phenomenal young talent, great performer. Billie Starkz and Sapphire Reed are both the future of wrestling, full stop. And, you know, this match should be great. Hopefully it'll be one of many encounters over the next few years as both of these young women rise through the both scenes, UK, US, Japan, all over the world. Take it on tour, as they say. Either way, yes, that anniversary show is shaping up already to be quite something. And as mentioned, it is at the Dome in London.
Talking about domes and amazing women's matches, OnePW have announced there'll be an 8-woman gauntlet match to crown their inaugural women's champion. And this lineup is ridiculous.
Yes, who's who of the best of British wrestling.
Yeah. So we've got Zaya Brookside, as I formerly mentioned, Lizzy Evo, Millie McKenzie, Nina Samuels, because we all need more Nina, Danny Luna, Tonga, who's got a real issue with OnePW at the moment from where they didn't put her in the first show when she was the face that was advertised as the first signing. Alex Windsor and Session Moth Martina.
And that's the returning Alex Windsor from injury, of course. She's been on a long layoff, and it's great to see her back in action. So hopefully she is able to be fit for this show. I'm sure she will be. Yeah, what a fucking lineup. Yeah, what a lineup.
Yeah, I just wow, really.
Who's your money on?
The way they've had their shows so far, Lizzy Evo's got to be quite high up there, but so Session Moth.
Well, Lizzy Evo was the last ever OnePW champion, if I'm right. And she has already stated that she wants to go through the gauntlet. So she will be number 1.
I don't know. And that's something that I love. I can genuinely say I don't know, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, Lizzy Evo to pretty much maybe go through the gauntlet and then have someone like Danny Luna crush her in the end with that power. Yeah, what a bloody lineup. I love a gauntlet. I haven't seen a gauntlet in a while. I love gauntlet matches. I think they're an excellent way of doing things. So yeah, I think this will be an interesting encounter and great spotlight here on the British women's division, because you know they haven't brought in. There's no big name US name in that lineup. It is all Brit Wres. Is you know they brought in big names for other matches, but this is a showcase of the best of British, and I love it.
Yep. No, it is a great lineup. Riot Cabaret. Would you like to tell me what's happening at Riot Cabaret?
Well, I know that current champion Nina Samuels, because it is Riot Cabaret is the perfect place to host the Nina Samuels show. So, of course, she is the champion. She will be defending her championship against the one, the only Session Moth Martina. That is at Riot Cabaret's Fights and Delights on the 18th of April, and that is at the Clapham Grand. Sorry, I should have mentioned the OnePW show is the 22nd of April at the Doncaster Dome. There we go. Okay, I know it's, you know, I said this is all about the ladies, but these next couple of stories, we're going to be talking about representation in other areas, including everything patterned by Roy Johnson. He's bringing it back one more year. Once again, it's going to be at Festival on the 14th of April. Kanji, Warren Banks, Roy Johnson, Alexander Roth, Jordan Saeed, RJ Singh, Genji Atunji, Levi Muir, all will be competing. And they actually announced the first match on International Women's Day, and it will be Livy Grace versus Mercedes Blaze.
Nice.
The baddest bitch in Brit Wres. Period.
Yeah, that's a match I'm very happy to see.
So, you know, go along, go support that show. Speaking again, keeping it this way, the first named participant has been announced for Effie's Big Gays Brunch, which is going to be hosted by TNT Extreme in the UK on Friday, the 12th of May. The first name announced is Cassius, the Neon Explosion, who will be making their TNT Extreme Wrestling debut.
Awesome. Cassius is fun. Cassius is a lot of fun.
Yes, Cassius is a lot of fun. Cassius was also a great wrestler and great character. Great everything. So make sure you go check that out. While we're on TNT Extreme, I'll just mention the fact that Jordan Oliver from GCW, MLW, and a few other big promotions over in the US, he is returning to Liverpool to TNT Extreme on the 17th of June. He is set to compete at both the TNT Ignitions High Voltage and the TNT Extremes, going off big time shows, which should be fantastic.
Should be about it. Will be.
Yeah, it would be absolutely ram-packed. Both of those shows coming up for TNT Extreme and Effie's Big Gays Brunch. I don't care if it's Eurovision. I'm sure it's going to fill up because it's going to be extremely exciting, entertaining, and just great action.
Yep. And ridiculous. I wonder if that will be on Fight because it's a TNT GCW, or if that'll be on the Progress.
That is interesting.
Just occurred to me. I don't know.
Yeah, be interesting to see if they could maybe. I mean, I know it's Effie's Big Gay TNT Extreme Brunch, but as you say, maybe link in some GCW, maybe get it live on Fight. Why not? Now, we always like to talk about Brit Wres stars invading the European wrestling scene, and you know it's no different for the women of Brit Wres. They are all over the European wrestling scene right now. So, kicking off first at Bodyslam Denmark for their third annual all-women's show in Absalon. I love the show's name. Last time it was only the Absalonly.
Yes.
Brilliant. And that was their last all-women's show. Set to be part of the show we know already is the Queen of Spanish Strong Style, Maria de la Rosa, as well as British superstars Nina Samuels and the aforementioned Sapphire Reed. So that's really interesting. Side note, the last all-women's show, only the Absaloni, was actually the first time I saw Maria de la Rosa wrestle, and she had an incredible match with Gaia Glass. It became one of my favorite matches of that year. I thought she was absolutely phenomenal. Became a big fan of both late women there and then. It was only just beaten out by an incredible match between Alison and Emerson Jane, which just blew the roof off. It was a fantastic match, especially with Alison winning the Bodyslam Women's Championship. So, yeah, all-women's show, Denmark coming up. Keep an eye out for that. I know they have their own demand service, but it'll be on WXW now, and eventually it'll also be on IWTV, Independent Wrestling Television. Portsmouth Wrestling School standout from Rev Pro UK, Maya Matthews, is set to challenge Sarah Leon for the, and I'm going to absolutely butcher this. Do you think you could have a go at it?
Lega la Campagna Absoluta de Triste Wrestling.
title. Yeah, I think it's a championship for Tyrus Wrestling. Sarah Leon is the current champion. And this is going to be at Lucha.
House of Light.
House of Lucha. House of Lucha 15. That's what it is. And it is on the 18th of March. At the same show, Sunshine Machine will be challenging Cito Sanchez and Joey Influencer for the BCN Blacklist Tag Team Championships. But that's a huge opportunity for Maya Matthews. As I say, she has been a standout in matches that I've seen her compete for Referee UK. She's definitely been, that golden girl of the academy, if you like. But that she is a fantastic young competitor. Sarah Leon, I have not seen huge amounts of, but a Bodyslam colleague of mine from Spain assures me that she is a fantastic wrestler, and she believes that she is one of the 4 pillars of Spanish wrestling currently. So, big time matchup. Go support her at Lucha Libre Barcelona. One of your favorites is going to be competing at Rixe France, so I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, somebody who had one of my match of the month last month. Kira Chimera will be heading back to France, where she is going to be facing Amal at Rixe Chapter 13 on March the 18th. That's going to be a great match. Amal, we always just thought was next level when they were in NXT UK, and I was always trying to work out why on earth they weren't on the main roster. And Kira Chimera is just a really great wrestler. She can brawl, she can do technical, she can fly. She's great.
She competed in France's first all-women's death match.
Very cool. So yeah, they are going to be at Rixe Chapter 13 on March the 18th. Lycos Gym will also be over in France for that show, and they will be in action against the Rivalti, which is a team of MBM and La Sombra.
Yeah, 2 fantastic competitors who recently faced Danny Black and Just Joe Lando at Bodyslam Wrestling. I'm really looking forward to seeing that show when it's available on WXW now, which it will be soon. Let's draft our 30-person all-women's roster. The rules are you must have a minimum of 15 British women's wrestlers. You can have no more than a maximum of 10 European wrestlers, and this includes Irish competitors as European wrestlers, Seshimov and so forth. And then you can have another maximum of 5 from outside of Europe, America, Japan. People like Laurie, who is German, will be considered European. Kyra Chimera, despite competing regularly in the UK, is a French national, or originally from France, so she would be considered European and thing. Killer Kelly from America would be considered Portuguese. Giselle Shaw will be considered Canadian, so she'll be outside of the European realm and will take up one of your spots if you should draft Giselle Shaw, as of course. Masha Slamovich is a difficult one. I know she is born Russian, but she moved to America when she was 6 years old, I believe. And obviously lived in America since, although she does wrestle under the fact that she is a Russian competitor. So what do you think? Is she American or is she Russian European?
The majority of her matches take place in the States. I would put her as an American wrestler.
There we go. It's where she spent the majority of her life as well. So on that, yep, no, I fully agree with that. That's why I put it up to you. You've got the rest of the database there. We have compiled a list from the last draft that we did alongside Popping the Boys and Talking Indies with Jameis and the two Crays from Popping the Crowd. Fantastic show. I really enjoyed doing that. So it's going to get competitive again. Have you got a coin? I forgot to bring a coin with me.
No, but I went first last time, so I will generously allow you to go first this time.
Okay. I'll let you track yours on your side, and I will track mine on my side. I'm going with Alex Windsor, currently injured, but still I consider to be the best currently. And I'm going to pick in Danny Luna as my second. I think between the two, I can really build a division around them. I can be my stalwarts, my star signings. Either one of them could be a face or a heel, so you can switch them at one point. And so, yeah, Danny Luna, Alex Windsor. Simple.
It's a strong start.
Thank you. And for you, I'm going to...
Lizzy Evo, because that entrance that they did over at Soft Pro,
which you can see tonight for free on YouTube at 7 p.m. and I will be in the chats.
They're just the best. I think they are absolutely phenomenal. So I will definitely take Lizzy Evo, and
damn you.
And I will also take Nina Samuels. Nina has been working incredibly hard since coming back onto the indie scene, and everybody needs more Nina.
Absolutely. Well, I was worried you were going to draft her, and so I'm picking her now. It is Rio.
That was my next choice.
She has my number 3 pick. Oh, so I'm quite glad you went for Nina over on that occasion. All right. Millie McKenzie is my next draft pick. Starting strong.
You are. Lana
Austin, superstar Lana Austin. She is amazing. Lana is just incredible right now. The run, just best you can get right now.
They are, and I'm now going to go for my first international pick. I'm going to go for Giselle Shaw.
Always just they are
quintessential diva. She's amazing.
Really, really is. When she was here in the UK, they took the divisions, Rev Pro and Progress. They were top of the mantle, and Giselle Shaw is amazing.
Yeah.
Really. I'm going to go to the international well as well and pick the current Pro Wrestling Eve champion, Miyu Yamashita.
They're very good.
Amazing. Those kicks are lethal.
Yeah.
The pink striker.
Go on then. Who's you got next?
Let's have a look. See, I'm going to look towards the future. And I've mentioned her already on the show, and I'm going to pick her now. It is Sapphire Reed, because, as I say, I need to start thinking about building a foundation. So, yeah, Sapphire Reed.
Build your foundation. I will respect your foundation. I'm going to tear it down because I'm going to choose two ladies that have taken over the UK tag team division. They have been tag team stars everywhere, and they have been solo stars as well. I'm taking the She-Wolves.
Don't blame you. Is that Molly Spartan and Casey? Yeah.
That is, yeah.
You know, as you mentioned, both of these women have been top of the board as a team or as solo stars around the industry. And yeah, don't blame you. Good pick.
Thank you.
Okay, right. I'm not going to let you have the new third member, according to TNT Extreme, in Angel Hayes, who I believe is incredible.
Yep.
The superstar. And another young performer for me to really build around. Next up. Where does Brookside land? Is she still British? Are we still counting
She's still
her?
British. Yeah,
There we go. I am drafting in Zaya Brookside, then another one of the top young talents around the world, and yeah, I like how I'm shaping up at the moment.
Yep. I fancy some strikers. I fancy some hard hitters. I'm going to go with Kanji and Laura Di Matteo.
Ganji and Laura Di Matteo.
Yeah.
Do.
Laura Di Matteo. Yeah. Laura Di Matteo was one of the first women that I saw back live after lockdown. And the crowd loved her. Absolutely loved her.
Yeah, no, just she's amazing again, and excellent representation of just what it can be to be a top star in the Brit Wres scene right now. All right, throwing it back to me, Emerson Jane. The absolute superstars. Can you double check if she is? I don't know if she is Irish or Scottish.
I don't know.
I know she is certainly DNA champ in both Ireland and Scotland. Gauge match says she's Scottish, Glasgow.
There you go.
According to Cage Match, at least. There we go. So that doesn't chip into my European choices. And you know what? I'm going to bring in someone from Europe right now. I said I'm a huge fan of her. It is the Queen of Spanish Strong Style. It is Maria de la Rosa, who recently, of course, was over at RevPro UK, where she challenged Danny Luna for the Southside Championship. Fantastic match. And obviously, Danny Luna came away with a win.
Yeah. I'm going to choose two ladies that have been putting on a match across the UK that has been brilliant. They have been fighting each other fantastically. I'm going to choose Ivy. I'm going to choose Harley Hudson.
Harley.
Yeah.
Don't blame you. Don't blame you. I'm bringing... Oh, you know what? I want a young striker. She is the bad girl. She is Chantel Jordan. But since I'm bringing in a bad girl, I'm also going to bring in the baddest bitch in Brit Wres. Period. Mercedes Blaze.
Okay, you think she's bad. You think Chantel's bad. Let's put her up against Ronnie Knox.
Yeah. The wrestling engineer.
Yeah. She is a strong performer. She has been doing some great interviews as well. She is an all-rounder, up-and-comer, and 2023 is going to be a big year for Ronnie Knox. And my number 2 international star, I want Max the Impaler.
Absolutely.
They're
Yeah.
terrifying. They're brilliant. They're wonderful. And I think that they are just awesome. And I want to see it again. I want to see Max the Impaler absolutely terrifying Lord Gideon Grey.
Yep. She has not signed with AEW on the dotted line. I'm sure she will do. She was recently announced for Pro Wrestling Eve anniversary show. I'm going to draft her. It is Billy Starks. And that uses my third. No, actually just my second outside of Europe. Okay. And I'm going to do the same to bring in Masha Slamovich to use up my third.
Masha Slamovich, that is a bit good. I think I'm going to go for a bit of another tag team. Seeing as I've got one, I want another.
Okay.
I'd like the Dream Dolls.
Mariah May and Zoe Lucas.
I'm going to grab them now while I can.
Yeah, don't blame you. I'm sure Zoe Lucas, Mariah May will soon be teaming back up again. I know Zoe Lucas has been preparing herself for another return, hopefully. So, where do I go from here?
Who did you have after Billy Starks?
It was Masha Slamovich.
Yes, thank you.
Let's see. Ooh. You may have D-Lana Austin, but I'm going to take the two other members of D-Lana Austin experience in the Demolition Woman, L.A. Taylor, and the villainess, Sky Smithson.
Nice. I like Sky Smithson.
I love Sky Smithson. She has so much character and heel babyface. Yeah, they are. Yeah, the best. And that's why I've drafted her.
Yeah. I'm going to go local. I'm going to go for my local wrestlers who I love to pieces. I'm going to go for Evie Madden, the locksmith. Had a little bit of time out at the end of last year, and is back now and doing great.
Yeah.
And I am... Sorry, go
on. The first ever UKPW Women's Champion.
Yes. And I'm also going to go for my daughter's favourite my daughter's favourite wrestler, who she bought the T-shirt with of her own money. I am going to go for Artemis.
Like it.
The current tag team champion over in UBW and the current tag team champion over in United.
Like it. Okay. I'm going to look at title wrestling right now. And I'm going to bring in Camille Hansen and title champion Natalie Sykes.
Ooh, good one. Right. I can't believe that we haven't picked this person yet. Jetta.
Apparently no one does it better.
They don't. And then I'm thinking that I also I'm going to look at North and look at Gia Adams. And I think that I would actually throw those two together as a tag team as well.
Well, if you're going to do that, I'm going to still Jetta's tag team partner, Royal Ace's tag team partner in the Fearless, Charlie Morgan.
Oh, crap. I missed it. Damn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to look to Europe and somebody Charlie Morgan has actually taken on at Colosseum Pro Wrestling in the Scandinavian Dragon, the current WXW Women's Champion. It is Alice Inc.
Okay,
You got to go through that list on the side.
Yeah.
There's still a few, actually.
I think so. I will also go to WXW. And I will have baby Alison, please. Who I think needs to be over in the UK a lot more.
Yes.
And I've got some real good powerhouse wrestlers. I've already got the likes of Molly Spartan, of Ivy, of Max. I've got some great powerhouse wrestlers, but I think I need a Danny Luna in there. Oh, you already got Danny Luna at the beginning, didn't you?
Yep.
You fine. I'll have Kira Chimera then.
Good pick.
Well, that's another 2 internationals for me.
Yurikai Mera. Yes, but they're European internationals, so not out of your main outside of European ones yet.
Yeah.
Still got plenty of space. Okay. I would like a power wrestler as well. And I'm going to look to Europe once again, to the Hungarian Europe. And I'm going to pick Orsi.
Ooh.
And I'm going to stick in there and I'm going to bring Iva Koloski with her. And I might pair them up as a women's Arrows of Hungary.
That's a nice idea.
So that is my my plan for them.
Right. I want a beer. Well, I am going to have someone bring the beer. I'm going to have Session Moth with the greatest intro in European ladies wrestling. Session Moth, awesome. And I'm going to get my first... Oh, no, I'm not going to get my first American, am I? Because I had Giselle Shaw. I'm going to have a second American.
Oh, Giselle Shaw's technically Canadian.
Wrestler who is primarily in America. My apologies to Giselle Shaw for insinuating that they were American. Taya Valkyrie.
Great.
Now, if Ring of Honor don't pick up, I know there's all the talk that they're going to go to WWE, but I think that they would actually do a hell of a lot better in Ring of Honor, where they would also be allowed to travel all over the world. And I think there is huge, huge money in a Mercedes Moné Taya Valkyrie match.
Indeed. That would be a very interesting match indeed. I'm actually surprised she hasn't been picked by you in Europe, so I'm going to steal her right now, and I'm going to pick up the French Hope in a mouth. Former NXT UK star. Absolute star.
Yep, they are. They are absolutely brilliant. I can't understand why they are not still with WWE. It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, stupid.
Indeed. So yeah, she should have been on the main roster, or at least main NXT, long before NXT UK came to an end.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've still got one more, haven't I?
You have.
She's a TNT's favorite. She's been on our show. She's had a great rivalry with Harley Hudson recently. Is Leah Raven.
I've just seen a message you've sent me. Are you saving the best for last?
Possibly.
I've already written down the two young up-and-comers that I want for my next two picks, which means you're going to get that person. So, without further ado, my two up-and-comers that I want to have being trained by my incredibly experienced roster are Zizi and Rebecca Resner.
Hey, yes. Part member of the incredible Crash Boat tag team. And yeah, she is really beginning to get more bookings out there, especially in the Northeast. Planet Wrestle Entertainment and Title Championship Wrestling.
And Zizi's really starting to get established across the Midlands, and they have a great personality, and their wrestling is good. I like Zizi.
Yeah, I don't blame you for liking them. I want to look at some future myself, and somebody who's starting to have a great rivalry alongside Sapphire Reed is Maya Matthews. She's going to be facing Sarah Leon for that women's championship over in Spain. And so, yeah, I'm going to bring in, Maya Matthews. Now, you've got Nina Samuels. I feel I need somebody with a lot of personality. Somebody who, produces some great promos, especially she adds her singing to it. It is the Swiss sensation, Michelle Green. I'm gonna have to check that. I've still got any European left. Let's have a look. See, before that I had 1, 2, 3, 4 from Europe, 5 from Europe. No, so it should only be my 6th from Europe. So yes, Michelle Green. She's got bags of personality, and I'm just a big fan of her. I saw her live at WXW Germany. Had an excellent chance to talk to her in person and interview her very recently on one of our Euro wrestling specials. Very grateful for the fact she came on our show, and for that reason, I am drafting Michelle Green, the Swiss sensation.
Now, because you didn't pick them, but you mentioned them, and I gave you an opportunity, I'm going to take a true superstar, and then I'm going to take another amazing UK talent. I'm going to have my number one pick's number one enemy.
Oh, yeah, still available.
Alexis Falcon. And someone who will be taking on my number one pick as part of OnePW. I'll have Tonga, please.
Okay. She's been on our show before. She's been making a name for herself. She had a great match at New Wave Wrestling against Danny Luna recently. I am picking Echo Reed.
Nice.
And I'm also picking Aurora Tevez. And she's actually Canadian, so she will be one of my outside of Europe. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've only got one more outside of Europe pick left.
Right. I'm going to go to Scotland for my next one. Someone who's had some great matches on ICW. Moxie Malone.
Yeah, very much a rising star over in Scotland right now. Moxie Malone is, yeah, dangerous
And
intentions.
then I want a rock star. But I don't want any rock star. I want an 80s rock star. I want Rain Leverkusen.
Rain Leverkusen.
Rain is having some great fun across the southeast, and well, all over really. Yeah, really enjoyed. They had a match for UBW recently against Memes. Now Memes is 6'5" and sort of 250, 260 pounds, which is about 3 Rain Leverkusens, and it was a lot of fun.
I think she's an excellent pick. I want a pop star.
A pop star?
A pop star, an international pop star, to again bring a bit more personality to my roster. B Freaker or Becca, as she is known.
Damn, yes.
She just had a great match against Danny Luna. I'll be talking about it shortly, and another good match against Nina Samuels at Pro Wrestling, which I'll be talking about briefly. I have got, and that is my last outside of Europe sign-in.
Now, I've got a challenge now. Because this is my last 2.
It is. I've only got one more pick.
I am going to have an American lady. I've got 2 American at the moment, so I can have one more. I'll have Jordan Grace, thank you.
Very well.
Yeah, yeah. Don't think you can really go wrong with that one. But now I've got an issue here, Andy. I'm going to have to ask for your help on this one.
What's that one?
My final choice. The amazing Germany's best kept secret, Laurie.
Yes.
Or from Portugal, Killer Kelly.
Now I still got one pick remaining, and if you don't pick her, I'm going to be picking her.
Yeah, I don't know which one to go for.
Well, since technically I get the first draft, I'm picking Killer Kelly. You can't have her.
Okay.
Fine. I've drafted as my 30 complete. She was my 8th European. So your final pick is going to be
Laurie,
the German sensation. Yeah, I know she is out injured at the moment. She's returned back to Germany due to this injury, but I'm sure she'll come back bigger, badder, stronger very soon. And like to see her get more bookings in WXW Germany, to be honest. So maybe that can happen while she's back in Germany. Either way,
right, do you want to run through your one?
Okay, Alex Windsor, Danny Luna, Rio, Millie McKenzie, Miyu Yamashita, Sapphire Reed, Angel Hayes, Zaya Brookside, Emerson Jane, Maria De La Rosa, Chantel Jordan, Mercedes Blaze, Billy Starks, Masha Slamovich, L.A. Taylor, Sky Smithson, Camille Hansen, Natalie Sykes, Charlie Morgan, Alison, Orsi, Ivor Kolosky, Amal, Leia Raven, Maya Matthews, Michelle Green, Echo Reed, Aurora Tevez, Becca, and Killer Kelly.
Nice.
Indeed.
Right, while I'm listing mine, think of 2 matches that you really want to see from your list. Mine are Lizzy Evo, Nina Samuels, Lana Austin, Giselle Shaw, Casey, Molly Spartan, Kanji, Laura Di Matteo, Ivy, Harley Hudson, Ronnie Knox, Max the Impaler, Mariah May, and Zoe Lucas, Evie Madden, Artemis, Jetta, Gia Adams, Baby Alison, Kira Chimera, Session Moth, Martina, Taya Valkyrie, ZZ, Rebecca Resner, Alexis Falcon, Tonga, Moxie Malone, Rain Leverkusen, Laurie, and Jordan Grace.
All right. I didn't have huge amounts of time to think about it, but I think I've got it.
Go.
I've seen Miyu Yamashita versus Alex Windsor. I've seen Miyu Yamashita versus Millie McKenzie. Seen Miyu Yamashita take out some of the best in Brit Wres, but I've never seen her face Dani Luna, and I'd like to see if Dani can. Oh well, Dani Luna will definitely have the edge in power. Miyu will have obviously the speed and the strikes, and it'll be kind of, can Miyu Yamashita kind of stay out of Dani Luna's grip? And I like that story, so I think that is one hell of a match that I would like to make.
Okay. I would like to see Jordan Grace versus Molly Spartan.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's a bruising match.
That's big, beefy, slapping meat wrestling.
It is. It is. You can't go wrong. And then the other match I'd like to see is a tag team match. I would like to see Lizzy Evo and Alexis Falcon team up. I know they won't get on very well, but I want to see them against the Dream Dolls.
Yeah, interesting. I like it. Tag team match. Let's have. Oh, I'm going to throw together Dani Luna and Alex Windsor.
I can see their styles working together.
Yeah, and I would put them up against Millie and Rio.
Oh.
Yeah, Millie and Rio versus Windsor and Luna. I think that again that'd be a hell of a goddamn matchup.
Damn right.
But there you go. I'll post these online on the Twitter sphere. We'll put a little vote thing down, and you can pick whose women's roster you thought was better. I think I used more European and international stars. You did pick less. You put more Brit Wres in there. But yeah, let us know. We'll tag away, and we'll try and get those votes up, and we'll see how that comes out. Very quickly, some reviews over the past few days. Rev Pro UK live in London 71. JJ Gale apparently defeated Yoda Suji, and Jack Morris apparently defeated TK Cooper. I can't tell you they did because I didn't get to see it on the Rev Pro on Demand thing. I don't know if there's an issue with their recent uploads, but basically you missed the first two matches, so I didn't get to actually see them, and it was really annoying. I would have loved to have seen Jack Morris versus TK Cooper. Anyway, Sky Smithson defeated Maya Matthews. This was a great match. Sky Smithson has she's on a quest back to get in the title picture. She lost at Live in Cardiff via a roll-up, so it wasn't a decisive win for Dani Luna. Of course, Sky Smithson's claim to this championship goes all the way back to when Jamie Hayter was champion over at Rev Pro UK. So this is gone back a lot. She was very dominant, big win. Maya Matthews had some hope spots. We got to see what the fuss is about Maya Matthews, but it was still a huge win for Sky Smithson. Dan Maloney and Shigehiro absolutely tore the house down. Great match. Greedy Souls defeated the Arrows of Hungary. Again, my app was kind of jumpy during that match for some reason, so I can't tell you exactly. It looked brilliant from what I got to see. I wish I'd got to see it properly though. So but yeah, Dani Luna defeated the US pop sensation Becca in an excellent match that really showcased some of Becca's lucha skills. Great match. She really pushed Dani Luna. Dani Luna was then attacked after the match by Sky Smithson. So that's still continuing as a storyline and something great to see. Then it was a 8-man elimination match akin to what you would see in New Japan. So you can be eliminated via pinfall, submission, disqualification, or via over the top rope. It was Gabriel Kidd, Luke Jacobs, Leon Slater, and RKJ and they defeated Michael Oku, Robbie X, Cameron Kai, and Zach Knight. Cameron Kai is a 16-year-old young stud who's coming out of the Portsmouth School of Wrestling. He recently took on Michael Oku. It was a great match. It really held its own in this one, but it kind of went with Michael Oku eliminated Ricky Knight Jr. while Ricky Knight Jr. was the legal person beating up Cameron Kai, who was the legal person, but then he was taking it too far and really punishing the young lad, and Michael Oku got a exception to it and dumped RKJ over the top rope, therefore eliminate him because there was no disqualification. So sorry, DQs did not eliminate you because there was none. So technically it counted as elimination. After that, Gabriel Kidd eliminated Zach Knight. Leon Slater then deleted Cameron Kai. Robbie X then eliminated Leon Slater. Gabriel Kidd then... So then it was Robbie X and Michael Oku left against Gabriel Kidd and Luke Jacobs. First, Gabriel Kidd eliminated Robbie X. Then Luke Jacobs and Gabriel Kidd killed Michael Oku. And basically Gabriel Kidd and Luke Jacobs won because they're big, beefy heavyweights. And Robbie X and Michael Oku are junior heavyweights. And that's just the way things are in Rev Pro UK.
They are. Now, earlier today... Lord Gideon Gray put up a video announcing who Dan Maloney's next opponent will be ahead of taking on Will Ospreay.
They are, and they're in the previews.
Oh.
So we'll get there. We'll get there.
I thought I was ahead of the game, goddammit. Overall,
I can only score this show 3.5 on the matches that I did get to see. And actually, you know what? I'm going to knock it down to 3.25 for not great quality upload.
However, bump it back up.
I'm going to back up at 3.5 for having 2 women's matches on the bloody card.
Yes, at last. Start listening to us and start booking them.
Indeed. Right. Progress when man comes around. Nick Wayne defeated Callum Newman in just a jaw-dropping performances from both young men. I'm still disappointed in the booking of Nick Wayne going over Callum Newman, and I think the crowd that was there, judging from the reaction that I got, they were disappointed as well that Callum Newman didn't go over in this match. The majority of the sport was well behind Callum Newman, and whilst everybody got up and round of applause, standing ovation, there weren't big cheers.
Yeah.
But there was certainly a big clap of a round of appreciation of what they had just witnessed. But Nick Wayne has said he wants to be in the 16 carat. I will forgive this if Callum Newman is in the 16 carat. They have a first round match and Callum Newman wins.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, he needs
the third one as well.
Yeah, he needs some wins. Anyway, Axel Tisker and Mike Bird, just a completely different style of match. Technical, brutal, brilliant. Dan Maloney and Warren Banks had a strong match that was interrupted by Tate Mayfair's a little bit of fuss. Good match. Nina Samuels and Alexis Falcon, they've been one of the biggest storylines of the women's division in Progress recently. Nina Samuels has been basically calling Alexis Falcon a little child for liking Disney and still being a Disney nerd. And she pushed all the buttons and Alexis Falcon got herself disqualified. This feud is continuing at the upcoming Super Strong Style 16 in a clock strike midnight match, which they didn't explain during the show. Ricky Knight Jr. defeated Big Damo in a big man Atlas contest, and Sky Smith Raven. It was great. It was good. Go watch that match. It was. Yeah, I'd like to see where this Ricky Knight Jr. goes. We'll talk about it next week. Sky Smithson defeated Raven Creed. Originally, it was supposed to be Raven Creed versus Lana Rostin, but Lana Rostin was like, I'm not wrestling. In fact, you'll wrestle Sky Smithson. Lana provided a bit of a distraction, gave Sky Smithson the win. Raven Creed still can't kind of get a win by herself over the Lana Rostin experience. But yeah, good match. Leo Rush and Man Like the Reese once again blew the roof off the building. Millie McKenzie and Lizzy Evo. This has been one of the other big storylines in Progress Women's Division of basically Lizzy Evo calling Millie McKenzie a child, calling her out for her childish antics backstage alongside Session Moth Martina, and said that she needs to start taking this seriously. Lizzy kicked her ass for like 90% of this matchup, but then Millie McKenzie won with a roll up, so that should continue, and I'm liking that storyline. Tom Dawkins then defeated Spike Trivet to finally get the whole Spike Trivet Cara Noir thing back. There were lots of bells and whistles. It was a no DQ match. There was, people involved.
I should say that I think Spike looked better as the Black Swan than Cara normally does.
Spike looked absolutely fantastic. Too many bells and whistles for me to really enjoy this match as much as I want to. And I look back and I think to that match thing, which was brilliant, because this was quite a similar match. The one thing we haven't seen is actually them face one-on-one in a singles match. No bells and whistles, no DQs, no hardcores, no I quit stipulations. A one-on-one. And I think the only way we can possibly get this match, which personally I think we deserve, because they're both phenomenal people, wrestlers, is stick them in a cage. Have the first Progress cage match. No interference. No hardcore DQ. Yes, maybe you can slide a few things in there, but make it one-on-one.
This is the storyline that could easily bring in the cage match and have a good enough reason to bring in a cage match. So yes, I will agree with you.
That's all I'm saying. So overall, I would give this a score of 3.75 sugars.
Cool.
Pro Wrestling Eve, Women Behaving Badly. It was the Uprising versus Laura Di Matteo, Rain Leverkusen, who are the Pro Wrestling Eve Tag Team Champions, and their partner, Rio. The Uprising are Rio O'Reilly, Nightshade, and Sky Smithson. This was good match, good at times, good in places. Great isolation work from the Uprising on Laura Di Matteo. When Rio got in, Rio looked very strong. I didn't get to see Rain Leverkusen. It was almost like she was forgotten in the match, so that kind of disappointed me. The ending fell apart just a little bit at the end. Laura Di Matteo tagged herself in. Rio then got annoyed at this. Then it kind of sort of like just devolved into a melee brawling, but it was then Rio who got pinned, but I thought she was the legal person. It was still a fun match, and it was good in places. Nina Samuels and Becca, I was very, very impressed with Becca in this match. Really got to see her lucha skills against Nina Samuels, and both of them are so entertaining personality-wise. The match meshed really, really well, with it almost going down to the wire. There was literally only a couple of minutes left on the 15-minute time limit, but the Eva came out and caused a distraction, which Becca then missed the 450, and Nina Samuels picked up the win. Millie McKenzie then kind of faced off in kind of who will be the next person to take on the champion, whoever the champion is at the end of the night. Millie McKenzie, Casey, two of the best. Hands down, two of the best. And great win for Millie. Brilliant match. I really can't. It's hard to find words when the match is just that good, sort of thing. And they really, great. It was the Royal Aces versus the Queens of Kampai, who are Natsu Sumari, once of a Wado Tai in Stardom, now I think more of a Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestler performer, alongside Seshimoff, who was also a member of Wado Tai, and that's where they first met. And they are the Queens of Kampai, because Kampai is cheers in Japanese, so that's kind of what you say when you have your drink. For me, too many antics. I'm sure other people will probably really enjoy that, those antics on Seshimoff and Natsu. Not me personally, but it was still a
That's
good
because you're a
match.
miserable bastard at
I
times,
am a
Andy.
miserable. I know. I'm sorry. We got back to some proper action with Miyuki Takase versus Alexis Falcon. They really beat the crap out of each other, and wow, so, that Takase has got some chops on her. Absolutely, they had a very good match. Then it was the main event of the evening. It was Miyu Yamashita versus Lizzy Evo. Now, despite Lizzy Evo being the heel, the chance to support, it was 50-50. They realized that she's a heel, but they were like, damn it, she's a heel, but she's our heel, and you're from Japan and you've got our title at the moment. It was a great match, and I really, really thought it was going to be a great match all the time. If you'd missed me a couple of weeks ago, you'd have heard me talking about how much I was excited for this matchup because I really believed it was going to be a great matchup against this striker. But could she deal with the aggressive nature of Lizzy Evo, somebody who can really pile the pressure on? And I mentioned all of this a couple of weeks ago, good few, when we first mentioned the match as part of the news stories. Yep. This was exactly what I was expecting. Great. I'm going to give the overall score for the show 3.25. A very solid, good show. Then they had the Riot at the Yard Theatre, which only had 5 matches, kicking off with Lizzy Evo versus Millie McKenzie and Rain Leverkusen in a triple threat matchup. Apparently, the Jayla Dark, who did a great job providing commentary from her home in Scotland while the matches were taking place in London. She actually told us Dan Reed hates triple threat matches. It's something we bloody well agree on. I hate triple threat matches too, but
I like them.
This was a good triple threat match, and there are a few exceptions where triple threat matches are concerned. AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe as one of them. One of the best matches you'll ever see, regardless of being a triple threat or singles or whatever match. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of them. But this one was really good. Although I was surprised that Lizzy Evo came out on top. I can understand maybe wanting to bring her back up following her defeat, but of course, Millie McKenzie didn't get the win. Now, I wonder if it kind of ties into what some of the progress is, and it was the fact that Millie McKenzie didn't take it seriously enough and was having a bit too much fun, that she lost her eye on the match, and Lizzy Evo was able to come away with the win.
So what do you think of Rain Leverkusen now that you've got to see her?
On this one, I got to see her get beaten up a lot by Millie McKenzie and Lizzy Evo because they teamed up on her. The poor young girl was getting teamed up on by Millie McKenzie and Lizzy Evo. She had a few little spots. She does look like a bright young talent. I still haven't got to see enough for me to really put a huge judgment down. But I can see and I know a lot of people have put a lot of stock in her. She is the Pro Wrestling Chaos Maidens of champion right now. And, Danny Jones, Brendan White, they're on the ball. So I'm sure she is a fantastic. I didn't quite get to see enough again in the match. Mainly because Lizzy Evo and Millie McKenzie were just, being Lizzy Evo and Millie McKenzie. Rio defeated Nightshade in a good, solid performance. Great win for Rio. She looked dominant coming out of the 6-man tag from the night before. Sky Smithson then took on Sapphire Reed. Didn't take her seriously. Got beaten up by Sapphire Reed before then taking it seriously and kicking the crap out of Sapphire Reed. Very enjoyable match. We got to see dominance of Sky Smithson. We also got to see just how good Sapphire Reed is as a young performer. So yeah, brilliant. Nina Samuels and Ava then took on the Queens of Kampai. I preferred this match over to the last one, but I'm still not sold on Queens of Kampai, but I'm very much sold as Nina Samuels and Ava White as a partnership between the two. I think that is a really good tag team. So up there. Then it was Miyu Yamashita in a non-title match against Miyuki Takase. Miyu kicked the crap out of her. Takase slapped the crap out of her. They slapped and kicked the crap out of each other. It was brilliant. I loved it. It was a great match. Overall, I'll give this show 3 because I only had 5 matches rather than the 6 of the night before. But again, I think it's a solid show. Now you can check out Pro Wrestling Eve, all of their shows from all of their past shows on their YouTube channel. Join as a member. It is $8.99, I believe, which is a decent price. You know, a little bit more expensive than, say, Progress or RevPro UK. Doesn't quite offer the same amount as WXW Germany. But if you're looking for the best women's wrestling in Europe, then you need to get signed up to Pro Wrestling Eve, because that's where the best women's wrestling in Europe is being featured. So do yourselves a favor, go out there and check this out. Now, Dan, I know you're in a rush, so I'm going to do WXW Germany as an offshoot, and I'll tag it on to the end of this. So if we go straight through to closer to home, Saturday.
There is a lot of WXW, and there are some brilliant matches, and I know that you are going to talk about them, but I just want to very quickly...
I'd love to hear your thoughts on some of these matches, but we'll have to wait, and we'll talk about them as we watch it next week. But go ahead.
Right. Closer to home, RevPro UK Raw Deal Stevenage. Michael Oku and Cameron Kai are going to be taking on Leon Slater and Gabriel Kidd. JJ Gale will take on Yota Tsuji for his spot in the Revolution Rumble. Mercedes Blaze versus Chantel Jordan. Jack Morris gets to go one-on-one against Dan Maloney, which is going to be absolutely brilliant. And Rich Swann will be in the UK taking on Robbie X. For the Cruiserweight
Championship.
Connor Mills versus Everybody Dies, Lance Archer.
Yeah, that's a hell of a opportunity for Connor Mills, man. So proud of the young man getting this opportunity.
But that's not the only match in Stevenage that night. No, there is more wrestling in Stevenage. Sins City is going to be going on. That's UBW Square One Academy. And Tony Sin will be defending his Square One Championship.
Interesting. I tell you where you can see the best in young Liverpoolian talent, and that's the infamous Pro Wrestling. You recently had the Violent Gentleman Society on the show. Great interview. Go check it out. But let's talk about it more. It is Drill versus Connor Klein. Harley Hudson versus Leia Raven versus Lucy Sky. 3 incredible young women's wrestlers right there. The tag team match of the Dogs of War, Sam Smithson and somebody else versus the Violent Gentleman Society, Tommy Jackson and Casey Payne versus Made to Last, Leon Gray and Ryan Thorne. Nice. Tony Wright versus Chase Alexander, somebody we're big fans of. Christy Quinlan will be taking on his younger brother, Patrick Quinlan, or Pud. Joey Hayes versus Lance Rivera, and Dynamite Lee Dawson versus Jack Johnson.
Looks good. New Generation Wrestling's Collision Course in Hull. I was talking to the licensing manager of Hull 2 days ago. There you go. Adam Maxted will take on Sam Bailey in what will be a technically brilliant match. Nathan Cruz versus Miles Kamen versus Ace Matthews versus Man Like Derice in a 4 men flying through the air kicking the shit out of each other match. Jack Bandicoot versus Vusic. Lizzy Evo takes on Rio, and Reese and Rogan will be going up against Amir Jordan and Matt Myers.
Excellent. You know what? I just realised neither of us drafted Session Moth Martina.
I did.
Did you?
I said I needed someone to get the beer.
Oh, yes, you did. Sorry, I missed that. I don't know how. Well done. Pro Wrestling Chaos in Bristol against all odds. Danny Jones and Joseph Connors versus the Smoking Aces, Charlie Sterling and Nick Riley. Rain Leverkusen and Aluna Blue versus Ava White and LA Taylor. Tate Mayfairs versus LJ Cleary. Danny Luna versus the New Wave Gauntlet. Brendan White versus Shaw Samuels. Gabriel Foreza versus Jay Joshua, and Billy Hayes versus Johnny DeLuca.
Nice. That Tate Mayfair's LJ Cleary match should be brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Loving that.
Sunday the 12th, there's more WXW, which I'm sure you will tell everybody all about. But Rev Pro UK are live in Sheffield. Announced so far: Will Craven versus Zach Knight, Rich Swann versus Leon Slater, Lance Archer will be in action. RKJ will be taking on Jack Morris, and it has been announced that Dan Maloney will be taking on Michael Oku.
Jack Morris has just made his Rev Pro UK debut, and this weekend he features in two huge matchups against two of Rev Pro UK's biggest stars in Dan Maloney and RKJ. Things you love to see. You can go over to Birmingham and catch Kamikaze Pro Live 32. Luke Douglas versus that's it. Luke Douglas versus Maximus Okoro. Lucia Lee versus Samuel Hughes. Alex Connors versus JC. Chantel Jordan versus MJ Grayson. Hassan Ali versus Ryan Parrott. As I say, Kamikaze is one of the best places to find the best young talent in the Midlands.
And the best talent in the UK are going to be in Cardiff for Slam Masters Back to the Banking Hall. Man Like DeReese takes on Doug Williams, the ambassador. Zaya Brookside versus LA Taylor. Lizzy Evo versus Danny Luna. The Greedy Souls versus Subculture. Kid Lycos versus Wild Boar. Nico Angelo versus Jack Selstrom. And Beers and Beatings and Kurt Atlas will take on Bolarama and Big D. And then we have Mark Daniels versus Shane Hooker versus Mickey Fine versus Luke James versus Elijah versus Luke James again because he's a split personality person.
He is.
I just wrote it down wrong. One or the other.
You should definitely check out the promo from Jack Selstrom to Slam Masters, available on their Twitter page right now. Over on the following week, Saturday the 19th, it is Phenomenal Elite Wrestling. I know you're not going to be there in person, but I will let you announce it already.
Jack Selstrom will take on the entitled Big Jim Diehard in his first defense of the PEW Heavyweight Championships. TJ Sky, Jason Joshua and Alina Blue will be taking on Joey Scott, Lance Rivera, and a new female member of the Ryan Taylor Agency. That is exciting. Martin Kirby will take on Styx. Smashing Mike will defend his Internet Championship against Kyle Kingsley. And Ivy will take on ZZ. Plus, the entitled Bulletproof, Brady Phillips and Riley Nova take on Big Man Inc. Adam Bolt and Jackie T after Adam Bolt had the beatdown from the entitled at the last show, which is available to watch on YouTube with a seriously gorgeous ring announcer doing the job.
Yeah, who can't get the words out to say, never fail, alpha male. Riding over.
Yeah.
Go check that out. Our friends over at UKPW Collision Course in Canterbury. This is a very interesting matchup. Simon Miller versus Truman Roswell. I wonder what truths Truman Roswell has to talk about when it comes to Simon Miller. Nina Samuels versus Ronnie Knox. Alexander Roth versus Fabio Romano. Teams with attitude. That is Mark True and Kieran Lacey versus the mean team of Adonis Payne and Memes.
Red Pro UK will be in St Neots for unfinished business. As yet, it is also unfinished booking because we don't know what's coming up.
Yes, and that is on Sunday the 19th. Along with No Mercy Wrestling. Sweep the leg. James Ellis versus Joseph Connors. Devil's Rejects, MJ Grayson versus Big Van Verska versus Oliver Sutton and a mystery partner. Shane Hooker will be taking on Nico Angelo, and which should be a very, very exciting matchup. Will Cruz and Jay Joshua will beat the crap out of each other. Adam Carter versus Kenny Mantro versus Kelly Six. Rain Leverkusen versus Rio versus Aluna Blue with RC Chaos on guest commentary.
And Title Championship Wrestling, pour some sugar on it. Huddersfield will be seeing Rampage versus Ace Matthews. Shug Dunkerton versus Tate Mayfairs. Joe Kessler and James Drake versus Amir Jordan and Harry Singh versus Simon Miller and Memes. What a tag team. Versus Money Mountain. Natalie Sykes will be taking on Harley Hudson. And Scotty Rourke will be up against Vusic.
Good matches. Good matches. You know, like we always say, and especially since it is International Women's Day adjacent 2 days later, go support women's wrestling, go support British wrestling, go support independent wrestling, and remember, never feed the trolls. Wait. Hold on. I know I have just wrapped up on the other side, but I have to break down everything that is going on at WXW 16 Carat this weekend in Oberhausen, Germany. It is one of the biggest tournaments in Europe, you know, second only maybe to Super Strong Style 16. I would probably argue that WXW 16 Carat is a little bit more bigger. It's more been going a lot longer. Some huge stars have won this tournament, and this year's looks just as amazing. I'm so gutted that I could not be out there actually to watch it live, but I will be watching it on WXW Now 2.0, and I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do that as I break down everything happening this weekend at WXW 16 Carat Gold. So technically it all kicks off tonight at night one. Well, actually kicked off yesterday in a circle, but that's a kind of more like a private event that happens at the Academy, very limited tickets, a lot of press there as well. Yeah, that kind of kicks off the whole thing. But tonight kicks it off proper. It is 16 Carat night one. It features the 8 first round matches, 16 superstars from around the world. Lots of nationalities here being represented from Belgian, Mexican, American, Italian, German, of course, Austrian. There's a lot, and it's going to be a fantastic. Look, let me just break it down for you right now. Night one, Axel Tisca versus Davey Regis. Davey Regis. This is going to be very hard here, and this is going to be super technical, and could easily be the match of night one. Maggot versus Ahura, 2 former tag team partners as the Pretty Bastards. They were 3-time tag team champions over at WXW Germany. Maggot and Ahura, 2 very different people. This should be an excellent match. Maggot got the win in a ladder match recently at the anniversary, or was it back to it was at the anniversary show for the Shotgun title. But yeah, that's a huge rivalry that's been happening, and something that's going to be a great match. Shigehiro Irie will be facing Metahan, the former Taman of NXT UK, the former Lucky Kid. If you've been watching wrestling for quite some time, you might recognize that name from places like Defiant Wrestling and Progress Wrestling. But of course, he is Metahan, and he will be taking on Shigehiro Irie. Just come up the back of a couple of matches over here in the UK. The wrestling teddy bear, he's big, he's strong, he's powerful. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Trey Miguel versus Peter Tihane. Trey Miguel, of course, from the Rascals, Impact Wrestling, GCW, Warrior Wrestling, and all over the place. One of the most talented young superstars in wrestling will be facing Peter Tihane, a Hungarian, super talented young star. You've heard me go on about him enough. Again, this could be match of night one. Tristan Archer versus Mike DeVecchio, who I believe is from Belgium. Tristan Archer, former WXW German Unified World Champion, spent most of last year as that champion after winning that championship at 16 Carat Gold last year. And he was putting on great performances against the likes of Axel Tisca, Jonathan Gresham, many others, including his rivalry with Lavanio, just superb. Anyway, Arez Strange versus Commander, two guys who have made their names known over at GCW. I know there's some clips out there. I've not seen these guys wrestle a full-out match. I can't wait to see them wrestle a full-out match because from the clips I've seen, they're insane. Lawrence Roman, the pitbull of the Amboss team, the only member of Amboss in the 16 carat. He faces, of course, United Empire's Francesco Akiro, one half of the NJPW Junior Heavyweight Tag Team, alongside PJ Perkins. Masha Slamovich, the second only woman to ever have competed in 16 carat gold. She's going to be in an extremely hard-hitting, violent match up against Fuminori Abe, who recently made his Progress debut at the G Money's Darth Lad Emporium show. So as I say, that kicks it off. That is tonight, but you'll be able to watch it on WXW Now 2.0. Over on their YouTube page. It is will be available to stream, to watch as of the 15th next week. That moves us on to Saturday, and my God, there's a lot happening Saturday on the 16th carat gold weekend. I mean, kicking it off in the morning, we have the WXW Now and Friends Showcase, which features promotions from around the world getting to showcase their superstars, their performers, their belts, whatever, at this show. So you got Martin Payne versus Lucifer Lohan. That is Pro Wrestling Austria. Randas Pagne, Adonis and Xander versus the Easy Lovers and tag team match. That's Bam Bam Quaid and Eric Sable, and that is part of Bodyslam from Denmark. Corey McRae, British superstar, will be part of the Passion Pro match as he's in a triple threat match, six-man tag match. Corey McRae, Maverick, Zafir Armin versus BT versus Julius Jr. versus Malkai, as I mentioned. Passion Pro over in Bulgaria. Good luck to all those guys. They're a fantastic group. Psycho Mike versus Charles Crowley, again, another British superstar, but he'll be representing Smash Wrestling, the Canadian promotion. This is surely going to be very, very entertaining. APC Catch have also got a match out there. It is Rick Salem versus Kuru the Kid, two uber talented young athletes. Adam Priest versus Jaden Newman. That is Action Wrestling over in the United States. We've got ICW. Their championship will be on the line as Leighton Buzzard defends against Canadian superstar Vaughn Vertigo. And the Progress Wrestling World title will also be on the line as Spike Trevay. He will be defending the title against Danny Black. Now, this will also be available to watch on WXW Now 2.0 a little bit later in the week on the 23rd of March. Once they've done all 3 nights of 16 carat and so forth, then they'll put the said show on. You've also got Ambition 14 in the afternoon of Saturday. Bobby Guns versus Kevin Lloyd, the catch sensation from here in the UK. It's going to be technical, hard hitting. Really looking forward to seeing these two guys go at it. Thomas Shire, who actually took on Kevin Lloyd at the WXW World Tag Team Festival during the Wildcard show. Big lad, very, very impressive. He's got Peter Tahanye. Fast Time Mudo will be against Fuminari Abe, and Davey Richards against Lawrence Roman. This is a shoot style tournament, and as I say, they are the quarterfinals or first round matches. You've also got Icarus from the Arrows of Hungary. He's going to be facing Patrick Borg. I don't know much about him. but that is before the semi-finals. And then you've also got the Axel Tisca versus Luke Jacobs super fight. Very exciting matchup. So that is, and then of course you'll have the final of the Ambition tournament itself. And that'll be available to watch on the 21st of March on the WXW Now 2.0. Again, great to see lots of UK representation with Kevin Lloyd and Luke Jacobs on that show. Right. 16 Carat Night 2 features Bobby Guns versus Norman Harris in a career versus job match, because Norman Harris is the sporting director of WXW Germany, but he's now injured. Bobby Guns has been embroiled with situations with Harris for quite some time, so now it is a job versus career. The tag team champions, the Frenchadors, will be facing off against the Arrows of Hungary, Icarus and Dover, and Icarus and Dover become 3-time WXW Tag Team Champions. We'll have to find out. Finally, there will be a women's championship match as Alison defends her title against a host of former champions, a fatal 4-way match including Baby Alison, Ava Everett, and Ivor Koloski. You see, it was Koloski who would actually win the vacant championship after Amal joined NXT UK. Ava Everett would defeat Koloski at 16 Carat last year. Ava would then go on to lose the title to Baby Allison, who in turn eventually lost the title to Alice Inc. So the 4 former champions, well, the current champion and the 3 former champions all going at it. And of course, you'll have the quarterfinal matches from the 16 Carat tournament itself. Now, that's going to be available to watch on WXW Now 2.0 on the 17th of March. And that finally leads us into the night 3 of or day 3 of the whole weekend. In the afternoon, there will be a WXW We Love Wrestling show for you. It will be made up of every performer that you'll see throughout the weekend. You'll also have the 16 Carat Gold Night 3 itself, which will feature the semi-finals and the final of the 16 Carat Gold tournament. Of course, this year's tournament is for the 16 Carat Gold Championship, after Levanio was basically stripped of the title because Norman Harris said, right, it's going to be on the line in the tournament, but then told Levanio he had to qualify during the road to 16 Carat. And during that tournament, he eventually did not qualify in the fatal 4-way match. It was Uhura who won the match. Norman Harris actually stopped Levanio from breaking up the pin. Really interesting stuff. I love what WXW Germany have been doing for a long time now. And as we say, always support European wrestling just as much as you support British wrestling, support independent wrestling, as it is the adjacent episode to the International Women's Day. Make sure you support women's wrestling. And remember, don't feed the trolls.